Good morning, good morning. Just like independence is very important, so is encouragement. And just like our country is now celebrating Independence Day, I'm celebrating encouraging people, my fellow man. So without further ado, people, without further ado, let's get with it. Let's roll with it. It's time to do it. Let's go. Good morning to you all. This is your boy Comet Chat, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. And if you have not done this before, what I'm about to ask you to do, let's go ahead and do it. And here we go. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Also, hit that notification bell because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload in the future. Also, give me that thumbs up. It's a like and it helps out. Also, leave a comment. And last but not least, I need you to watch my entire video from start to finish. That also helps with the YouTube algorithm. Don't ask me how, I just know that it does. But anyway, thank you for being here again. This is another series with the encouragement series from me, your boy Comet Chat. And today's word, we're going to get right into it. You know, today's word is clarity. As you see right here on boom, clarity. Clarity is the word of the day. And let's go ahead and see. Clarity. I'm going to give you also the quote of the day, which is, it's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. The emotions are poison to any living goal. I'll say it again. It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal. And before we get into it any deeper, the definition of clarity: the quality of being coherent and intelligible, the quality of transparency or purity. Let's say that one more time. Two different definitions. The quality of being coherent and intelligible. Number two, the quality of transparency or purity. Now, my thoughts on this is frustration is the mud that clouds the waters of clarity. One must learn that there will be times when we must be still and wait for things to come or happen. Having a clear mind and precise clarity in any situation will most likely lead to a good decision and favorable resolutions. When we are angry and frustrated, it hinders any clarity that we once had. To be successful in a professional setting, you must be focused, committed, and have clarity on what your job duties entails. You must be able to accept criticisms and choose battles carefully. You must be able to navigate the landscape and avoid damaging situations. Clarity is a skill that can be learned. Part of learning this skill is being calm and being in an unstressed state. You must be able to play back in your mind and identify what exactly causes you to feel frustration and anger. And once you have identified that cause of the anger, it will be easier to find a resolution. So, having said that, clarity. A lot of times in life, we like to do things. I heard this saying, this shoot off the side, shoot from the hip. Sometimes shoot from the hip is good, but a lot of times you got to be clear. You got to have a definitive, clear, and decisive plan before you attempt to do anything. Um, Sometimes, and I know sometimes things can be reactionary, but most of the time you need to have some kind of prep, some kind of preparation, some kind of plan, some kind of thing put in place. So if things happen that aren't anticipated, then you have somewhere to fall back. Also, whenever you're giving out orders or you're receiving orders, you must make sure that you understand them, that things are clear. Because a lot of times when people assume stuff and things aren't clear, then they assume that, okay, he meant this or she meant that. And that's when mistakes are made. That's when misunderstandings are made. That's when feelings get hurt. That's when egos get bruised and all that kind of stuff. Make sure in every aspect of your life, be it personal, at home, or be it at work, or whatever setting it is, that there's clarity. That I know what you're thinking, and you know what I'm thinking. There should be any kind of uncertainty or like just assuming, or I think he said this, or I think she said that. I'm not sure. Make sure if it's something important, Pay attention to the details, the little things. The coworker that I work with, he always says, if you pay attention to the little things, the big things will take care of themselves. So we make sure we're clear on every aspect of our personal lives, our professional lives, our spiritual lives, whatever thing that you deem worthy of you or deem precious to you that takes up your time and your energy. Make sure you're clear in it. Being clear about stuff, it makes sense. It's just a common sense thing. A lot of times, husbands and wives get in disputes, arguments, spats, lover spats, so to speak, because they aren't clear on what was said or what the other one thinks or feels. So we have to make sure, like if you're a believer, God is very clear. The Bible is very clear on what He wants you to do and what He doesn't want you to do. Now, people that take stuff out of context and kind of do their own thing or try and put a spin on this. But if you read the Bible, it is very clear. The Ten Commandments are very clear. The do's and don'ts are very clear. People just choose to try to bend them and try to change them and try to modify in its semantics a lot of time. But it's very clear. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about if you're a believer or non-believer. The Bible sits there and it tells you. It is a roadmap. It tells you what is clear, what isn't clear. Now, people, when we put in that human equation, or when people want to do things their own way, they want to deviate from something, then that's when we get all this misunderstandings or, oh, I thought this, or I thought that, or I didn't know you meant this. Were you clear on the instructions? Were you clear what your boss said? Were you clear what your wife said? Were you clear what the preacher said? Were you clear what the judge said at the barn hearing when he tell you that you cannot make contact with so-and-so and she can't make contact with you and you can't do this and you can do this? A lot of people aren't clear. They think that we all, not some people, we all think that in some aspect of life I know, common sense. Yeah, common sense fills in a lot of the gaps. But if you don't know something, if you're not in the profession or something, like I'm a law enforcement, I can't tell nobody how to build a house. I can look at the stuff and look at it and see how it got done, the nails, the angles, the saw used to cut this angle or whatever particular tool. I can see it and see how it's used. I couldn't sit here and tell nobody. So it makes no sense for me to sit there without certain clarity. If I'm trying to learn how to build a house, I'm going to go to someone that builds houses for a living and get clarity. I'm going to go to somebody, if I'm trying to do a home project, I'm going to go and get clarity from someone who knows what they're doing. He or she knows what they're doing. They explain to me, and when I try to attempt that home project, I'm going to get 100% clarity. Or they're going to know, if I get into a jam, I can call you back so you can walk me through this. It's clarity. That's what you need. Clarity on anything that you're doing. Some people, when their marriages don't go right, they need clarity. They go to a marriage counselor. Some people, when they don't have clarity on their religion or their belief, they go to a preacher or a priest for clarity. You got to have that. In order to be successful, clarity is one of the main ingredients in that recipe to be successful. You got to have clarity. So, in every aspect of your life, and your parent trying to talk to your kids, when you talk to your kids and you explain them the do's and don'ts, make sure you are crystal clear. Make sure that they are aware that if they choose not to follow your rules, regulations, whatever it may be, that the consequences is going to be whatever they are. Make sure it's clear, because if not, then that's when you're going to find yourself in the jam. And we as parents have always done that, but we have to make sure. Make sure at your job that, hey, I can do this, I can't do that. Make sure you have clarity. The policy and procedure manual is very specific at a lot of these jobs. So make sure you have clarity before you assume something, because you know those saying what happens when you assume things. You know what happens. So clarity is the word of the day, and you saw also the quote of the day. And I hope that this enlightens whoever watches this some way, and I hope it makes you think, makes you scratch your head and say, I'm gonna make sure if I'm clear about what my wife wants for her birthday, or I'm gonna make sure I'm clear what my husband wants for our anniversary. I'm gonna be sure I'm clear on what my boss wants on this, that, and whatever the case may be. So, again, if you haven't been to my channel before, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell, because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload in the future. Also, give me that thumbs up, because it definitely helps. Also, listen to my whole video from the start to the beginning. That really helps me. And last but not least, leave a comment. Your comments are my oxygen. I read them, I study them, I respond back to you in a respectful and timely manner. And until tomorrow, which will be Independence Day here in the United States, take it easy, be safe, peace.